Well, there it is. Hey, this is Witty here, and I'll be showing you how to beat the insane computer as a Zerg. Now we're going to go to create a game, make sure Agria failure is selected, create game, make sure you are Zerg, add AI, make sure the AI is insane, and they can be Zerg, Protoss or Terran, but since both of my other videos have been against Terran, I'm also going to do this against Terran, just to keep it nice and all even across the board, so there's no confusion. This isn't going to involve building spine crawlers. If you were against Zerg, there may be a build that you can do against spine crawlers, but I'm not going to worry about that because you can't do that against Terran and Protoss, and after all, you may not always be against a Terran and Protoss. So, at this point, you don't need to do anything in the game apart from put your drones onto your mineral line. You can send your Overlord over, but make sure he doesn't get picked off by a Marine. And you don't need to build any more drones, to be honest. You just want to wait until you've got up to 200 minerals. As soon as you've got 200 minerals, you're going to build yourself a spawning pool, which will happen any moment now. Go build a spawning pool. Now you still don't need to make any more drones, don't worry about that, because you want to keep your lava and only produce Zerglings with them. You will be using one drone at least, just to be annoying, and I'll show you how to do this, because what you'll be doing with this drone is you'll be taking it to your opponent's main, and you'll be taking one of their Thespian geysers. Because 9 times out of 10 when you play against a computer Terran, Insane, he will already have taken one of his Thespian geysers and built a refinery on top of it. So we'll just take the one drone this time. I used to take 2 to annoy him, but it's not a guaranteed thing, whereas they will always have at least one Thespian geyser spare when you get there. So I'm trying to do an all-round build. So as soon as this spawning pool finishes, we're going to make sure that we build plenty of Zerglings. Make sure that you're rallying these Zerglings to your opponent's main. Now this build is a bit more micro-intensive than the other two, but don't worry, with practice you'll get good enough at it that it'll become easy. Well, I'm sure anyway. It's certainly not a guaranteed thing. Now we want to be taking this drone roughly before the Zerglings build, because what this drone is going to do is he's going to get into the opponent's main, hopefully before the Zerglings do, and build that extractor. That'll distract some of the SCVs and perhaps a Marine or two, whilst the Zerglings can carry on annoying. Make sure that you're constantly building Zerglings towards your opponent's base all the time, so you must have your hatchery on hotkey for this. Makes it a lot easier. So as soon as you build an extractor, you can also build more Zerglings, remember that, because you're going to have an extra bit of food. So remember just to be a nuisance here. You can see the SCVs are attacking this extractor. Keep an eye on the health of the extractor, but it should be fine. Try and take your Zerglings into the mineral line. You may lose some. In fact, if it looks like you're going to lose the battle there, just back off a little bit. Make sure you pick off Marines as soon as they come out. You can't afford. And then you rebuild the extractor at the same time. Sorry, this is a little bit distracting, I understand. As you can see, I have lost my Zerglings here, but we will win this battle overall because it's different almost every time. But if you stick to the plan, it should work, so don't worry too much. Zerglings are winning this at the moment. So many SCVs are being distracted by that extractor. As soon as it builds, practically you cancel it by pressing S, and then you rebuild it again, and this causes the SCVs to start attacking it again. Make sure that you don't lose it, because if it's about to go to 0 health, you're going to have to cancel it. Now we can see that eventually the computer is running out of resources here, and he's going to lose this battle. So I'm going to back away from those. I'm going to cancel this again, rebuild, try and get the SCVs to go on that extractor. If they're not, make sure that you're constantly building Zerglings. You can probably afford to build an Overlord now at this point. Now I've got enough Zergling support that I can take on these pesky SCVs and eventually win this battle. Now, I'm not going to worry about redoing this because this didn't go perfect, but that's kind of the point. Trust me, this doesn't go perfect every time. It's a little bit different each time, but all you need to do is practice and it will get so much easier. But as long as you stick to the plan of what I was doing here, which is constantly building an extractor, as soon as it's almost finished, cancel it, start again. Cancel it, start again. So I've got to have that drone constantly building the extractor. At this point it can just attack the mule, because it's not really much the Terran can do at this point. And keep making Zerglings all the time. When you feel like you can build an Overlord, which basically means that you have over 100 minerals, then build an Overlord, because you will be able to get away with that, whilst being able to continue making Zerglings. So I'm going to put one Zergling on each building if the opponent didn't decide to surrender at this point, just to make sure he feels completely threatened. and anything else that he builds, kill it instantly. So he's already wished to surrender, and now we can click yes. So if you didn't understand it, just feel free to ask any questions, but essentially I'll go over it quickly again. Constantly be building the extractor with your drone, and constantly be sending down Zerglings into your opponent's main. All the time. That's all you have to do. And just micro a bit. Kill the Marines as soon as they come out, and kill the SCVs. But don't get too carried away. Don't let your Zerglings get killed by the SCVs. So we got a score screen. I hung around there for a while, so we'll reduce a bit of time, but if we look at the time, it took 6 minutes and a bit. So we could roughly say that that took 6.5 minutes, 6 minutes, basically. So, you know, it's as fast as you can do it, really. You can't really beat the Insane computer any faster with Zerg. So hopefully you understood this, and it isn't easy, but the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Witty. Please subscribe, rate and comment.